exceptions for inside jokes with players who are already joking.
Precisely, yeah. But he was like saying what the build was, and then he was typing like GG, and it's like, what are you doing?
Oh, goodness. Well, thank goodness we got into the lobby with no intruders at all, and we're finally ready to go on our final series of the day today for the EU region. And Grant, I don't think you should stay in the main base for this. I think there's a better place to introduce this player.
He is actually playing for Team GP. That is the Korean team. He is part of their academy, representing Russia. He is the Proxy 2 Raxer. It's Arctur.
Yeah, he is. Look at that sexy Proxy 2 Rax location. Oh, I love it. This is the first Proxy Rax I've seen on Submarine, and I am excited. Oh, good. And Arctur's opponent in the blue, representing the Ukraine and Starcom Gaming, it is Cass.
If Cass's barracks was a little bit higher up, would he have seen that?
Ooh, I don't know the map well enough. I don't think so either. I think Arctur has built this in the perfect spot where even if he built that barracks on the far edge of the main base, he wouldn't. So I think he's fine.
So, Fast Reapers will be coming up very shortly. Obviously, this is Proxy Reapers. Gases have been taken at home here for Arctur. This is very, very aggressive, though. It is. Sure. The purpose of this is to do a lot of damage. He will probably get a factory at home should things fail, but Arctur right now is coming in. He will get out before the first Reaper of his opponent, and the job now is he is going to kill some SCVs. So he also has an SCV to buffer. Well. Yeah.
He's going to lose. It looks like he's going to lose his SCV in the main base as well, though the Reaper should be able to pick down that SCV. And now Arctur doesn't have anybody running interference on him. But Cass doesn't know this is a double Proxy Rax until just now when he sees that second Reaper popping out. He might have suspected it was just a single Proxy Rax to get the Reaper in. But the Reaper is down now. And unfortunately for Cass, Arctur has got a lot of opportunity to do some real damage here as the first Hellion is still making its way out.
As soon as one Hellion gets out, this becomes considerably easier. 5 SCVs have gone down, meaning Arctur does have the SCV lead, but of course his tech is slower, because there is no factory as far as I'm aware, is there? No. So this defense now should be a little bit easier. Now my question is he going to keep producing them? Because there comes a stage where even if you keep producing Reapers, even if with a Hellion, if you get 6 to 8, you can absolutely just tear through it. He hasn't put down anything at home. Okay, now he's putting down his factory at home, but he is going to continue producing Reapers.
Yeah, one at a time now. I think he maybe thinking about slowing this Reaper production down and just moving into he's going to move that barracks out, and that'll be pretty much the end of this aggression, more or less. Arctur going to continue to crank out a few Reapers just to make sure he can maintain that contain on Cass right now, and Arctur dropping his natural behind this in the natural spot there, and Cass dropping his on the top side. But so far these Reapers getting pushed away again at the natural.
Yeah, this amount of Hellions means the Reapers can just never take the fight. We're going to see Papa Cass try and chase down Arctur a little bit now. He did a good job defending. You can see he is down a couple of workers, but the army supply is a big differential, and I can't see the CC being allowed to go up unharassed, and it's exactly what we're going to see. Papa Cass just has so much.
Papa Cass, I love it.
I always call him that.
It's gorgeous. Of course, the Reaper's on the high ground, and those grenades going to mean that Cass is going to get bounced away. I love this. Arctur blocking off the natural with his own barracks, but at the natural to the other side of the map, we do see, one last Reaper will get picked off by the Hellion, because, of course, all the micro right now is being focused on the natural of Arctur, who is desperately trying to get out to start building that natural command center. It has been slowed down just a little bit more, though, and he's going to be way behind Cass now, whose natural is finishing up. But, oh my god, look at Arctur. Look at what he's building right now, Grant. What is that?
What am I missing? Oh my god, wait.
Is the main base of Arctur. Triple CC, that's right, boys and girls. He's gone for the double Proxy Rax into 2-1-1, and then a quick third CC behind this. I tell you, Grant, sometimes I cast days of StarCraft where there's not a single unorthodox build all day. Today, in the 5 matches we've had, we have seen just about every variation of crazy builds that a caster could possibly hope to see. What a fabulous day it has been so far, and Arctur is keeping up this incredible build order with a early third CC coming down as he finishes up that CC at his natural.
That was really, really cute of Cass. Cass locked onto the barracks, and then he just got underneath it so it couldn't land and block a CC, pushed it away and landed his CC. So just using that cyclone there to make sure he isn't slowed down at all, and using its maneuverability to ensure that everything works out. Now, Arctur has to play so safe. Like, when you go for this quicker third CC, you are relying on your opponent also playing relatively macro-oriented. Now, one thing I will say about Cass is he does play a lot of macro. He is a slower player in terms of his aggression. And without staying out...
you get older, Grant. You get older. You gotta change your build up a little bit.
Yeah.
That's why you see all these young Zerg players doing so well. That's why Raynor is so good, because he's 12 years old and his reflexes are still licking his split. Whereas us old farts have to play mech because we don't have the micro anything, right? We'll give away a couple of these Reapers here in the main base, going to try and get some damage done, but Cass is still going to take this exchange. He even locks onto the Viking and picks it off. A couple Cyclone lock-ons helping Arctur out just a little bit, but man, Cass has just defended so well, and like you said earlier, it's very bold of Arctur to grab this third base, because if Cass is ahead on army supply, it's very possible that he can just roll over anything that Arctur has right now. But as we said, Cass is a little bit of a slower player, a bit of a longer game player. More likely, he's going to sit back and try and macro his way out of this. Arctur is slightly ahead on SCVs now, 44 to 39, and his economy still looks pretty solid.
The Raven being locked onto here. Is the Raven going to go down? That's such an expensive unit to lose. It kills a few workers, but the Raven just offers so much if it comes down to tank v tank. You really want to have that Raven in order to get those disruption thingies. Wait, you can do this, Grant.
Interference matrices.
Interference matrices, yes.
That's it.
I'm so tired at this point, team. I do apologize. I'm crashing.
I've been there a million times. I start confusing any units that start with the same letter. So I start calling Colossus Corruptors or it's Carriers and Corruptors and Colossus and anything that starts with a C. I just choose one at random when I get tired. So don't worry about that at all, man. Cass gets in to scout the third base, and he's going to go ahead and move across the map now. He's got plenty of tanks out now. It looks like 4 tanks out for Cass. Raven down as well. And he's working on +1/+1, going to be a bit ahead of the upgrades. I like Cass's business game, even though Arctur does have his third base down quite a bit earlier.
Yeah, I like what Cass is doing, though. Cass just sieging up this position. If he can... he doesn't have any medevacs, does he? That's a shame. If Cass had a medevac, he could lift the tank up here. Okay, no, this works too. He's going to completely stop the mining here on this natural for a good amount of time. Using this Raven auto turret is very, very nice. Cass did lose a Raven earlier. A lot of Terran players like to have 2 or 3. But he's managed to keep a second one alive and is finding some damage here in the natural. As long as it... Okay, so he does the interference, but it looks like it's going to clean up the tank. So what is the tank number right now? 5 against 2.
Looks like it's 5-2. Yeah, Cass taking a really good engagement there. And the big difference that we haven't even talked about yet, just because there's so much happening in this game, is that Cass is already cranking out Vikings. Look at that unit count, 4 Vikings to 1. Ravens are great for interference matrices, and they're decent for scouting for tanks. But look, if you have air dominance in a tank v tank battle, you have a great chance of winning that tank v tank battle, as long as you don't get caught unsieged at a bad time. And 2 Vikings out, with 2 more coming across the map right now. Cass even sending a little battalion, it looks like, up the north side of the map to the third base as well. And he might go into the third base with this little battalion as well. Arctur moving boldly into the middle of the map, but Cass should have him fully surrounded here. I'm a bit worried for Arctur's situation right now, as Cass is about 10 army supply ahead of him.
And the Raven does get sniped. That's very nice. It does manage to get down an auto turret, but it does go down. That's going to stop any more interference matrices in the favor of Arctur. And Cass still has, and he has one available right now. Now, Cass needs to play very, very slow in this position and leapfrog just as slow as he possibly can. Or to hit an interference matrix or 2 and then move up quickly. But it looks like Arctur's looking to counter-attack here. How many tanks are at home for Cass? A few.
No. He's got 6 out? Okay, yeah, he's got a couple. He's alright. Is he focus firing down his own armory back home? What's up with this? Anyway, Arctur moving into the third base here. The tank's a little late to siege up. 1 tank, 2 tanks going to go down here. But I think there's enough bio. He's definitely trying to pick down his own armory. That's very strange. Anyway, the marine lines have been drawn. A couple SCVs going down, but on the other side of the map, Cass moving out as well. Arctur taking that fight. Arctur actually taking a good fight at home against Cass, but Cass will have reinforcements to draw that back soon. And I think Cass can move forward now. 53 army supply to 31.
Papa Cass really hates armories. He's a very culturally sensitive guy, but if you're an armory, does not like you. He is now up in the natural. Cass is doing a lot of damage. He's actually drawing Arctur home, but Arctur's got a long old run, and if this base goes down, which is looking very possible, the effects of air dominance, as you said, Craig, is finding so much. Look how many workers are going down right now for Arctur.
Yeah, this is rough. We saw this coming a mile away. Sure, Arctur did really well back on the other side. He lifts the CC at the last second, but with 3 tanks sieged up, he's going to lose everything there. The Vikings in the front doing a bit more damage here. The Vikings probably will get cleaned up, might try and land. Arctur will defend this, but loses his CC, not able to land that mule in time. A huge win for Cass, who has that 3rd CC, moving out now to his 3rd location, and so many Marines. He's repaired up the armory, and he's going to be able to push that out. That was very strange. Was he worried it was blocking something off there? Why was he trying to kill his own armory?
I think he just auto-attack moved down towards his natural, and there's no other reason, right? Like, tanks fit... Oh, no, the tanks didn't fit through.
Is that what it was? That's exactly what it was. You're right.
And that's why he lifted him in the medevac down to the 3rd.
Oh! What? Okay, so Cass is actually playing at 300 IQ here. That's
because tank... It could go south, but the eBay blocks to the south.
Oh, man, Cass, you absolute brainiac. I love it. I mean, Cass ahead in every step of the game now. He's now ahead in workers after that destructive attack on the natural here. He's up 59 workers to 51. He's almost twice as high on army supply. He is, in fact, over twice the army supply of his opponent. His 2-2 is finished up to the 1-1 of Arctur, and unless he runs all these Marines into this tank fire, I think, he might even be able to stim those Marines straight into the tank fire and get it done. The big difference is combat shield, which I believe is finished up for Arctur, but not for Cass. But I don't know if that's going to make enough of a difference here.
If I'm Cass right now, I have 4 medevacs. I am loading all of them up and dropping into the main.
Oh, he's going to catch the tanks unsieged, though. Look at that. Tanks a little late to speed up. Oh, no. A brutal attack there for Cass, and GG comes out from Arctur. Cass going to grab game number 1.
Yeah, very clean there by the Ukrainian. Think about that for a second. Papa Cass doing a great job. One thing I was really impressed with is he had that position in the natural, and we saw Arctur coming home, but Arctur came in like a straight line, and all his Marines were overstimmed with no medevac. So one tank just blew them all away, and he managed to kill even more workers despite the reinforcements coming into flank. So very impressive there from Cass. He did a great job in that game.
Yeah, these TVTs, you know, a lot of people don't like the mirror matchups, but let me tell you, TVT is one of my favorite matchups, just straight up, not even favorite mirror matchup. It's one of my favorite matchups. I think it provides a lot of opportunity for players to be creative and for players to really show off their mastery of some of the smaller, more finicky bits of StarCraft 2. And yeah, Cass really making the most of that game, transitioning to Vikings a little bit earlier, setting up good siege positions, knowing when to take those fights, when to leave the fights behind. Really all around, just a great game for Cass.
Yeah, completely. Very impressed with him. He managed to react as well to what he saw. He survived the early pressure, which was a Proxy 2 Rex. He scouted it was a quick third CC afterwards, and then he reacted. Ba-dum. Alright.
There it is. Okay. I was just about to whisper one of the players for an invite in case they started without us.
No, I wouldn't let him.
Can you imagine? That'd be terrifying.
I'd clap some cheeks.
Is that what that is? I thought that
was
something different.
It is, but Nathanius always says clap some cheeks, and it's made its way into my
into your vernacular as well.
Into my vernacular, yeah. Which is, yeah. I'm not sure I should say it on this stream. There's a lot of things I shouldn't say on this stream.
I didn't get any broadcasting standards, but I feel like that's right on the edge of taste. We'll see if the FCC we'll see if the FCC calls us, or what's the British version of the FCC, the broadcasting.
The British Broadcasting Association or something. I don't know. Yeah, I know who you mean. There's people that when you complain, they go, "You've been a naughty boy."
Yeah. Hang on, we gotta get one more person in here.
Who do we need?
There we go. This caster who was in the last one. I think he's covering the Korean casts for the games. There we go.
Ooh.
He's in. All right, now we're getting into game 2. Gonna be Eternal Empire LE, an old but gold map. Eternal Empire. You think it's gonna favor the Terran player here, Grant?
Yeah, I think definitely a Terran player will win this matchup.
That's a bold choice.
I always am.
Well, no surprises as Starcom's cast grabs game 1. We should talk very briefly. We haven't talked a lot about teams today, but which is a sort of the big topic of the week. Let's introduce these players, Grant, and then if we have a second, let's talk about the teams these players are on, and what their team structures look like, and how that might be helping them out here in this event.
Let's do it. So, in the top right-hand side, playing for Team GP as part of their academy, he is the red Russian Terran player, Arctur.
And his opponent in the bottom left-hand side in the blue, representing Russia and, pardon me, Ukraine. I apologize. I get those backwards in my head every single time. Representing the Ukraine and Starcom Gaming, it is Cass.
Okay, so yeah, let's talk about the teams.
Go ahead, Grant.
So, start off with Starcom. Starcom are one of those really old teams. They've been around for a really long time in the CIS scene. I feel like Cass has been on Starcom for like 5 years now, but I am going to double check it.
Ages.
Because I'd like to know for sure how long he's been there. I feel like, yeah, it must have been forever. He's been on, 2018. Well, I'm miles off. Late 2018 too, geez. So yeah, Team Starcom were created in 2018, really? I feel like they've been around for so long.
Yeah, that seems unusual. I feel like they're a much older team, but they're definitely a very famous Russian team. It's like those guys in 3D, and then is Cascade Russian as well?
I believe so, yeah.
I think, yeah, those are like the big three Russian teams. And then in a completely opposite, sort of team structure is Arctur, who is just recently acquired by Team GP, one of the newest teams in the entire StarCraft series. It's StarCraft World, StarCraft Realm, I guess, just founded earlier this year. Of course, picking up big name players like Bomber and who's their other big player? They've got Gogo Joey is on Team GP, sort of a relatively unknown Korean team, which is very exciting, of course, to have a new team on the scene. And Arctur, one of their most recent acquisitions. So I'm excited to see how he performs here, how he reps his new team. But man, I tell you, if you get on that Wikipedia page, you can type !bracket in the chat to check that Wikipedia page. There is, I don't know how many teams are represented in the EU qualifiers alone. Grant, fill time. I'm going to count how many different teams are repped here in this EU event.
All right, I'm going to do it. So Arctur this time is keeping all of his units at home. He is playing as we sort of would expect. I know chat expected him to cheese again. Cass is playing very standard as well. We have 1-1 openings from both of these, barracks into factory. And the CC's down on the low ground now for both at the exact same time. Exact mirror builds right now from our two teams. To talk more about GP, they also do have Prince and Super. Those are the final members that round out their main team. And then they have a very strong academy of players from all over the world, including Snopstar from Poland and Kij from Estonia.
Wow.
Yeah, there we go.
Cool acquisitions, man. Well, as you were talking, Grant, I just counted. Of the 32 players that are in this EU qualifier, they represent 21 different teams. That's crazy. What a broad base of players. That's really cool.
Yeah, that's...
Wow, Arctur... Sorry, not to interrupt you here, but Arctur gets in, gets a little bit of damage done. There's only one Hellion on it. If he can pick on this Hellion, he might have a chance of going for it. Oh, the Hellion barely gets away here. Oh, no, doesn't repair up, though. And these two Reapers are now going to have a field day in the main base of Cass. Arctur getting a really nice advantage here in Game 2.
Finally, the Cyclone comes in, and that will push this off eventually. But that was a lot of damage done by just the first couple of units. And I've seen games, specifically these TVT games, where if you kill even one unit in the early game, you could just lose the game from it. It happens. And now look at the worker differential. Arctur is up 4 workers. Guess how many he killed? 4. So great control there by Arctur, and he now picks up a lead.
Yeah, really nicely done. Both players' naturals are down, but of course Cass's naturals slowed down a bit because Arctur was able to get that aggression down. Arctur paid the price. He traded a little less efficient. Pardon me, he traded more efficiently, but he lost a few more army units, I think, than his opponent. Nope, that's wrong as well. Didn't even lose that. So never mind. Arctur flawlessly done. Just in a lead all around right now. Slightly behind an army supply, but this Liberator coming across may be able to surprise Cass. I'm not sure if Cass is going to expect a Liberator first because Cass went straight into Raven from his Cyclone, or from his Starport.
Yeah, this Raven, this Liberator even, is a very nice choice here. He picked up a small lead, and he knows, when you're behind, you either need to all in or try and cut a corner. That's exactly what Cass has done. Cass has got all his units down in the front. There is a Cyclone in the main that will kill this eventually, but look, he's just distracting. He's pulling all the units down to the low ground, trying to run by with his Reapers, and guess what? It's freedom time from this Liberator. 1, 2, 3, 4 workers go down immediately. That's now 8 workers he's killed in a less than 5-minute TVT.
Well worth it. He's going to lose this Liberator almost for sure, I think. Yeah, he's going to lose that Liberator for sure. But 6-7, there's some more Reapers in the main base now, picking off a couple more SCVs, and this aggression from Arctur is paying off in spades. Remember earlier in the game when he was 4 SCVs ahead? Look at that worker count now, 38 to 23. This is insanely good for Arctur. And as long as he doesn't overcommit to building SCVs and fall prey to some sort of early mid-game push from Cass, he's going to find himself in a very strong position as we get into minute 6, minute 7, minute 8 of this game.
Yeah, that push was fantastic. He pulled everything away with the Reapers, and then he went in with the Liberator, and Cass was a little bit Cass floundered just a little bit. He wasn't able to focus his army and split it successfully, which means the Reapers in the natural ended up doing as much damage as the Liberator did. And that really shouldn't have happened. Just a couple of Marines were down there, it would have been okay. One thing I want to point out is take a look at the map vision of Arctur. He's got units literally all across the map to spot any pushes that might be coming. Just one Marine on the tower, and then one Marine in the south and in the north to completely see everything. And his third CC on the way. Very, very, very impressive play so far. 15, 16 workers. Jesus.
So now we're going to see Cass moving out, though. Arctur will see that with his Marine on the north side, of course. As you said earlier, a very small investment to see this attack coming. He's going to see it coming. He knows the exact composition he's up against. It's going to give him time to rotate around to the third base. But does he have enough right now? He's about 10 army supply behind, only on 2 tanks, but he does have those two Ravens in the sky. He's got a couple Vikings as well. This looks like a very even fight. It might just come down to control here, and whose trigger finger is a little bit itchier. And here we go. Double interference matrix C on those tanks. The auto turret's going down for the red Ravens of Arctur. And I think with the tank sieged up, oh man, Cass might be able to break this tank line if he's lucky, but I'm just not sure if it's going to work out for him. What do you think, Grant?
This is still very, very close. This tank in the back is doing so much work. It's going to start taking down a lot of units in the front. SCV's being pulled. Oh, the energy on the Raven is absolutely key there, because now the only thing left is this one tank that has like literally 5 hit points. And it looks like Arctur will hold. Yeah, he's got Ravens coming in now.
The army supply is evened up now, which means Arctur's lead has increased. He held there very well. 2 Vikings coming out. Of course, he's got defender's advantage as well. So he can even disable auto turret down the tank and use the auto turret to pick off the... Oh, man. Oh. The last Viking Cass barely getting away, but Arctur holding like a champ and is now 20 workers ahead and 20 army supply ahead as well. This is gorgeous for Arctur.
Yeah, Arctur doing great. His third was up this entire time. He pulled workers for like maybe a second, maybe 2 at max. Meanwhile, Cass is only not even halfway through building his third. It still has to orbital. There's so much work for Cass to do to catch up in terms of economy. And Arctur's just doing a great job now in defending. He's continuing to produce units. He now knows that units are probably a little bit more important. You can see he has cut SCVs, and he's just making everything he needs to defend. And look at the advantage he has in the air. GG.
Wow, as much of a blowout as game 1 was, game 2 a blowout in the opposite direction here. These guys really, at the risk of using the same word too many times here, trading blows very efficiently. In games 1 and 2, both of them with really strong plays. This has been a really great series so far.
Yeah, we got Rocky Balboa and Apollo Creed here, and no one knows who wins the third matchup between them.
Well, Arctur is actually Russian. Does that mean Cass is our honorary American for this matchup? In the classic 1980s action movie where the bad guy has to be Russian, right?
Yeah. Papa Cass is definitely American, right? Definitely. So we've got Rocky Balboa and Drago, was that his name? Drago. Yeah, it was Drago.
Yeah, Ian Drago.
Ian Drago? Name? No, it wasn't Ian Drago. Mate. I just googled Drago.
Ivan Drago.
Ivan Drago. I googled Captain. I googled Drago, and the first thing that came up was the Animal Crossing Wikipedia.
Oh, nice.
So we're close.
Is Drago one of the villagers? Should I have him on my island? Oh my God, Grant, are you playing Animal Crossing New Horizons?
I don't have a Switch.
What, Grant? I was going to give you my friend code. We were going to be buddies. We're going to frolic
my God.
Islands.
You need to have Drago on your island. He's a little dinosaur.
What? Oh, man. After I'm done professionally casting this StarCraft match, I'm 100% going to jump on my Switch right now.
It's a lazy villager. I can't believe
if I have any energy tonight, I'm going to, instead of streaming StarCraft, I'm just going to stream my Animal Crossing island, which I know my fans have been clamoring for months now. They've been like, great, when are you going to show us? No, it's garbage. I'm terrible. I have no creativity at all.
No, I mean, okay, I'm about to send you a Discord picture of Drago.
Wait, hang on.
More important. Oh, have you got a game?
There we go.
To join?
Yeah. Come on, Grant. Get in here, buddy.
I'm on that. Drago was.
You're sending me Animal Crossing pictures. Yeah. Oh my God, he's adorable. I definitely need him on my island.
Right? Yeah.
How do I not have this guy yet? Come on.
I don't know. I'm really disappointed in you.
I mean, now that we've lost all of our hardcore StarCraft viewers, we'll get into game number 3 on Ever Dream LE. This will be our final game
Ooh.
of the day here on the EU server, but never fret. If you were enjoying Grant and I's casting, not only will we be here all week with the EUB stream, we are also covering the Latin American stream as well, which will happen much to Grant's dismay. A couple hours from now? Late into the evening for you.
Yeah, unless they move it forward. I have no idea what's going on. Laura in the chat. Laura, it's nice to see you. Thank you for being here. Rakature HD. Everybody.
Yeah, everybody. Dang.
I'll
Hi,
call you by
everyone.
your real name.
So good to have you all here.
Quickly fix something my Windows Explorer. There we go. Okay. Am I in the game?
You should be.
I'm in the game, but did I have the right scene? I do now. Okay. Let's update the score. Boop, boop, boop. Focus, Grant. You can do this. In the top right-hand side of Everdream, he is the red player. The Terran player. Representing Team GP and Russia. It's Arctur. Do you ever do any player introduction and completely forget what you've already said? Because you've got to cover what team they are, what race they are, what colour they are, what country they're from. And I try to mix up the order.
Let me do my standard. This is what most of Creighton's player introductions sound like. Spawning in the bottom right-hand side. No, wait, that's the left-hand side, not the right-hand side. In the left-hand side, in the bottom of Everdream LE, it's our blue Russian Terran player playing Protoss. No, playing Terran from Russia. No, he's not from Russia. He's from the Ukraine. And Starcom Gaming, I think, is his team. He's taking double gas. It's Kaz. Like that's my normal player intro.
That's exactly what mine are like too. The amount of times I've gone, the player, the Ukrainian Zerg from Ukraine. Oh god, crap.
Oh yeah, if I say one piece of data only twice in a player intro, that's a win for me.
I'm so shit at this job.
Oh man, it's terrifying. We got mirror builds this time though from these two guys, which looks very nice actually. It's the first game we've seen them go mirror builds actually, I think, because we've had such different openings. The other two games.
Yeah, I think so. I think you could be right here. So we do have a SCV scout being the main difference here. Oh no, okay. Yeah, Arctur did go for an SCV scout. I don't believe Cuss did. No, Cuss playing blind. Papa Cuss fears no man.
Yeah, that's true. Much like the Witch King of Agnor. He fears no man, because no man can defeat him. That's true.
I am no man, and then I stab Creighton.
Right.
Stab Creighton in the face.
Oh, don't stab me in the face. Come on, mate. Reaper's coming across now for both players. Cass setting his Reaper down south, and Arctur just sitting in the middle of the map with his Reaper. And SCV, I think, in the middle of the map as well. Yeah, his Reaper just sitting in the middle of the map, waiting to catch Cass, trying to be cute, sitting in that line of sight blocker to get some extra shots off on Cass, but Cass not going to fall for it. And the second Reaper popping out now for Arctur.
That's really nice. I like that. Having the SCV and the Reaper in the bush means you get the first shot, and therefore you win the trade. It ended up actually not working out for Cuss because he will lose his Reaper. This is already a little scary because he lost that Reaper in game 1, and we saw what happened. Because as soon as you kill one unit, as I said, in a TVT, you go across the map. You know he has the exact same stuff, -1.
Yeah, man, and it's not like a trade like most battles. You're like, well, he won, but he was a little bit wounded, so that's okay. But with Reapers, if you dive deep, who cares? They heal up very soon. He snipes that SCV, building the command center. The command center isn't going to go down, and the Hellion is very, very dangerously low on health right now. Mass repair getting down, and oh man, luckily the SCVs get some surrounds on those units, and Arctur will lose one of his Reapers and his Hellion, pushing that away. Whew, that was a close one though, Grant. That was a close one.
Yeah, I mean, and he forced some lost mining time. It's not as big as last game where he killed 4 or 5 workers, but Arctur did force some lost mining time. He forced a repair. This is all money that Cuss now doesn't have, that Arctur didn't lose. So you'll see, Arctur should be just one step ahead right now. His natural is done, and he's already building the gas geyser. Cuss's natural not yet done, and the gas geyser not yet started, and he's now going down, meaning that Arctur just has that teeny, it's very minuscule, but a lead in a mirror matchup is a lead.
Yeah, a lead is a lead for sure. Very tiny one. But it might pay off for Arctur here. We'll have to see what he goes for, as both players are getting their 1-1-1s finished up. Early live out for Arctur. And you think the Liberator's going to get more kills this game?
Nah, I think Arctur in the second game even did enough damage with his double Reaper Hellion. He killed 4 or 5 workers. This time he only killed 1, right?
Yeah, something like that.
So I think this time Cass will be more pickup prepared.
Yeah, game one we saw, or game two rather, we saw Arctur winning by getting about 4 SCV kills initially with that Reaper Hellion, and then just adding on to it, really snowballing out of proportion. This game, I think you're absolutely right. The Liberator might sneak in here, but the Marine spread already pretty good here, and Cass should expect this to be coming. He'll see it. In fact, the Liberator should make itself known, and Arctur going to try and distract those Marines in the natural, but he is actually going to distract here. Cass is going to be forced to pull these units away. No kills yet. Nice response time from Cass.
Does manage to get the one worker. We will see a turret go down, and then the turret will push this off. The turret kills it, I believe, before it can get away. No, okay, didn't do quite as much DPS as I anticipated. But we do have a push out coming from Arctur. Ooh, this is cute. He's got the tank and the medevac, and he's changed his mind.
Classic little buddy push here. Hide those medevac, absolutely. And we'll see Arctur a little bit ahead in army supply. The tank count very, very low for Cass. Just one here, working on second tank now. He should have that second tank down. Oh, pardon me, 2 tanks out. Goodness gracious, thanks for focusing on my mistakes, Grant. 2 tanks out. He'll have a third tank down by the time Arctur gets here, and I think he'll be able to defend fairly easily.
Yeah, I think so too. The Raven is going to come in. It's going to do nothing.
Didn't have any energy in it, so it couldn't do anything. I think that was just a habit for Cass, but he's got the SCVs here to repair that last tank. The Viking will pick off the medevac. The medevac chased away, and with no high ground vision, of course, he can rotate around to the north side and pick off that tank if he wants to. Arctur wisely just going to pack his bags and go home, not getting anything done in that engagement.
Behind this, though, Arctur still is up in workers by 5. He's up by 5 army supply. Upgrades dead even. Stim is a little bit quicker for Papa Cass here, and I believe Papa Cass has the same tank count with... yeah, the third being at similar timing. So the game pretty even with Arctur maybe having that slight economic lead. And that is some lag. Okay, it's gone.
Just a bit. Just a bit. I think we're all right, though.
Yeah, I think so, too. Again, guys, this is a long, long day. ABS is sad at this point. It's been live 10 hours.
Oh, 10 hours. Goodness gracious. You poor thing. And don't worry, we've only got 4 more series to go in Latin America after this. You're gonna be fine, Grant. I'll take some responsibility. I can drive for the observing in Latin America if you'd prefer. Just take the edge off.
I think if I stop, I'll fall asleep.
Ah, that's fair. And I definitely don't want to cast. And you cut back to this. We cut back to the screen. It's just you passed out in your chair, and I'm like, well, I guess I'm solo casting from now on. I'll have to do an ASMR cast so I don't wake you up. But here we go. Cass is going to set up here. Tank count very low for Cass. Arctur going to be able to shell down that first tank there. Ooh, not focus firing the tanks correctly here. There he goes. He's going to take out both the tanks at the same time, though. Lost a little more bio than he needed to. But Arctur is a really strong engagement there. Cass on the low ground. Arctur with more Vikings than his opponent. This is looking real bad for Cass, Grant. What happened here in game number 3?
Cass doesn't have a single air unit. He's just not got anything. He's making a Viking at a time. Oh, no, 2 Vikings at a time now. But Cass is, Arctur's moving across the map, but I feel like Arctur just has a little bit too much right now. I'm very worried for Cass here. The Vikings will go down. Like, Arctur just has enough. He can win the air fight every time. I think he'll probably have to go around if he wants to get onto the same level. But I can't see this base landing anytime soon.
No, absolutely not. The Vikings going to shell it down while it's in the air. The tank's going to shell it while it's on the ground. These poor SCVs trying to get away. Man, what does Cass even have back home? 3 tanks and 3 Marines? These Vikings are really going to be the clutch play here. For any newbies watching StarCraft who are wondering why Vikings are so important, remember tanks can't see as far as they can shoot. So the Vikings are providing that extra bit of vision. So if you have the Viking advantage in a tank fight, your Vikings can provide the vision for the tanks, and then the tanks can fire. Because I think tank vision range is like 7, and their actual attack range is 9 or something like that.
Yeah. You're completely right, Creighton. And now, this is a stage where you know you're very ahead. If you can add a Liberator, you're great. And he's going to defend that Liberator against Vikings. It probably will go down, but he wins a Viking fight once again. All of his Vikings not targeting the same target there. Could have probably killed another one. Actually overextending a little with Vikings right now, but he is just buying time for his tanks to siege up. This is Arctur. SCV's coming off a line. Oh, I can't wait to see this number go up. There it goes. GG.
And there